Hi, I'm Rebecca from Northwest Lumpia. Today I'm going to go over Mom's Shanghai. This is a recipe that's been in my husband's family for many years. His dad was named Angel and his mom was Luz, and they opened up a restaurant in Bremerton called Angel's Cafe. And then they also, after they closed that and they moved to Tacoma, they opened a restaurant called Manila Center Diner. So this recipe's been in his family for a very long time. It's one of the recipes that they use a lot for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and for Christmas and family parties and everything. So let's go together and see how this is done. So we're going to start with our ground beef. And this is one of the extra lean types because we don't want a whole lot of fat in our lumpia. And then we're going to add in our spices and a little bit of Golden Mountain and some soy sauce. And we're just going to pour all this together and then mix it up. I'm going to start out with my meat mallet. Now this is a really amazing piece of kitchen equipment. Whenever you're trying to do large amounts of meat, sometimes it's very difficult to break it up. So this just breaks it up very well and very easily. Not too terribly different than what like a potato ricer or a potato masher does. I have this one in silicone. You can also get them in metal, and it works really nice. So then we're going to just transfer over to our spatula, and we will cook this until it browns. So as you can see, our ground beef is nice and cooked through. I'm going to add in some peas and carrots. Now you can add in any type of vegetable you like, but this is the way that my mother-in-law and my father-in-law made it, so this is the way that I do it. We added in our peas and carrots. Now we're going to add in our shredded potatoes. Now with these, you can just shred the potatoes yourself. Make sure that you squeeze all the water out. And if you're going to shred them yourself, then I would suggest that you freeze them just so that they're a little less watery to use. Now I don't use the fresh potatoes for this. I just buy the shredded potatoes. With the amount of lumpia and everything we make, it makes it very difficult to give the potatoes all the time that they need in order to not be quite so wet. So I'm going to mix this together really well, and then once that's done, I'll put it in a shallow pan and we'll bring it down to temperature. We'll get it nice and cooled off, and then we'll roll these up into a Shanghai style lumpia. So I started without you. It's been a while since I've actually rolled any Shanghai, since last year during our anniversary, our 11th year anniversary. So this is what it looks like whenever I first started. As you can see, it's very irregular. The sizes are all very different. And then as I get a couple more in, they get a lot better looking. So this right here is the way the Shanghai is going to look for our anniversary this year. And just to give you a little bit of a comparison, I'm going to roll a regular size lumpia. There's our glue. Tuck really well. Make sure it's nice and tight. All right, so this is our regular lumpia, and as you can see, it's right around, the Shanghai is right around twice the size. So let's show you how to roll a Shanghai. Now this was one of my husband's mom's favorite style of lumpia. She said that the customers really liked them because they were cute. When you put your wrapper out there, look for the widest section. On the other ones, whenever you're doing this size of lumpia, I typically put my meat all the way down here and roll it. But we want them to be very long, so you're going to put everything in the widest section. So I'm going to get my filling. we are going to space it out very, very thin. We want to be able to make sure that when we roll these, they're nice and even and very tight. So we want to have about the same amount all over. We're going to drag this all the way up to the top. We're going to drag it back. Now you see how my fingers are tucking all the way down? We want to keep dragging it back until we get like this. Okay, we want it to be nice and tight. Then as soon as we get it to where it's looking like that, we're going to fold it over, tuck in the ends, and then very, very carefully making them tight in the middle, and then with each roll going a little bit further out until it's the same size all the way across. Then we're going to put our water to make it stick together, and there you go. There's our Shanghai. So let's try another one. Now it's very important that you look at your lumpia wrapper, because if you have all of the large size up here and the skinny size here, then you're going to have a lumpia that's more this shape and not so much this shape, because as you can see, it's just almost exactly the same size. So we're going to put that over there. We're going to flip this one over so that the skinny part is up and the wide side is down. Once more, we're going to get some of our filling. Now be very careful when you're doing this. You don't want to have too much filling. If you have too much filling in there, your lumpia wrapper is going to tear, and you don't really want that. So once again, it's in the middle. It's at our widest part. We're going to cover it all the way up to the top. Start dragging it down, making sure that you are tucking your fingers underneath. Now, even though that tore, that's okay. We're going to roll it like that. Keep on going. Make sure it's nice and tight. Take the ends, tuck them in, and you're just going to keep on going. And then once you get almost to the top, make sure that you hold it, because if you let it go, it's going to unravel. Then just put your water across the top, and you're still going to be trying to keep it as tight as possible. And there we go. So this is our Shanghai. This will be our frozen pack. As you can see, the way that we have them in here, they're all long ways like this. We do that so whenever they're frozen, you can just snap them off one at a time. If we put them the other direction, they have a tendency to stick together and they don't break apart very well. So when you order, this is what your frozen pack's going to look like. And then you'll get a brown paper bag, and you will get one of our traditional garlic vinegar, and then one of our sweet chili. So this is what we will be sending home with you. So I'm going to cut out for just a moment while I take these in the back and we fry them up, and I'll show you what our lumpia looks like. All right, so they're coming out of the fryer. We're just going to put them right here. This is our draining tray. That way we get as much of that oil off there as we can. There we go. So we're going to take these. We'll move them right over here. Now, what comes in the box is going to be, once again, here's our vinegar, our traditional garlic vinegar, our sweet chili. We have our napkins. Now, this is 12 Shanghai lumpia, and we're going to take all of these, line them all up. Now, we here at Northwest Lumpia, we only cut these in half. Some people like to cut them into thirds, and I've even heard where some people will cut them into fourths. Now, a couple of years ago, we did cut them into thirds, a request from one of our customers, and we just called them the Shanghai lumpia poppers. But for this point, we're just going to do them in half. So we'll do this part, and then I'll grab those other two and we'll do some more. So I just used my butcher knife. We're going to cut them just like that. Oh, Got to do that again. So when you purchase these, you're going to be getting 12 of the long lumpia, and you're going to get 12 lumpias, and then you're going to cut them in half to make 24 pieces. Now, like I said, some people actually cut these into thirds, and then you would get 36 pieces. So we're just going to kind of push them over, grab a hold of each end, and then we're just going to pop those right in there. And that is what 24 Shanghai lumpias look like. Okay, so just as a reminder, whenever you purchase these, there's going to be 12 in a Ziploc baggie. It'll be labeled with the Mom Shanghai. This is what they'll look like when they're rolled and they're frozen. And then this right here is what 24 pieces of Shanghai lumpia look like. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying this time with me, and have a great day.